ever sit in your car and you're driving by a lake and you're thinking to yourself, wow, that boat's moving awful slow. Then as you look closer, you see the boat's made out of cardboard? Yeah, I've seen it. I don't believe it, but I've seen it, and it's going to be your chance to see it. It's coming up. I got to introduce you to some folks in here to talk to us a little bit about the Lakeland 10th Annual Cardboard Boat Challenge and Lake Fest. And joining us in studio, nobody better to tell us about it than the three folks that we've got. First is Johnna Martinez. Johnna is the Executive Director of the Lakes Education Action Drive.
Hi.
Also joining us is Eric Brown. He's a Senior Field Tech and Health and Safety Coordinator for AMEC. And how could we go without introducing Cindy Hill? Cindy is the Lake Program Coordinator, City of Lakeland Lakes and Stormwater Division. How you doing, Cindy?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. So now, here comes the hard part. What exactly is, I've got to read this again, the Cardboard Boat Challenge and Lake Fest?
Right. It's exactly what it sounds like. It is a challenge, and it's an event that's going to be held September 14th down at Lake Hollingsworth in Lakeland. It's our 10th year in hosting this event, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Groups and teams register, they go out, they build a boat out of cardboard and duct tape. 2 people get in it, and they row around a marked course in the lake.
Cardboard isn't supposed to float, is it? Is that what the gist of this is? You want them to purposely go in the water, right?
Well, they do have to go in the water and make a boat. Now, the key is the strategic use of the duct tape on the cardboard.
Strategic use of duct tape. You really you're gonna have to elaborate a little bit more.
Well, when they make a boat, and they can come with a design in mind or a design on paper, with dimensions and everything, but we provide all of the materials. They don't bring anything except their team and their thoughts and their spirit, and they actually construct and they build a boat that 2 people can sit in out of cardboard and duct tape. Now, you would think that they would use the duct tape to enforce the edges,
yeah.
the bottom, the
yeah.
seams, so try to make it as waterproof as possible. But they're limited. Everybody gets the same amount of materials, so it's a strategic use.
So they're not built beforehand, they're built that day?
Yes, there are several different categories. We have the day of building, where we provide all of the materials and equipment to build the boat, and they have an hour and a half to build it. And there's also another category we've added several years ago, is the pre-built division, where we hope that companies might develop and build their own boat. They can use more materials than we provide, but they have to get their own materials. And we're hoping that maybe that's a good advertising for them to come out with some unique design that helps to advertise their company, and then they race against each other.
Now, Johnny, you've taken elementary education and just taken it to its basics and expanded it just a little bit. You're bringing people out to make them aware of what's going on in their surroundings. You're making them have fun, and by making them, I'm being,
Oh, they have fun.
Oh, yeah. And then by the time it's all said and done, it helps you to pursue your mission, which is?
It's basically to raise awareness and educate folks about the lake, how to preserve and protect our lakes.
But when it comes to the city of Lakeland and their Lakes and Stormwater Division, how do you guys fit in, Cindy?
Well, we like to get people involved and get them interested in our natural resources and our lakes, and also, meanwhile, being able to educate them on some of the effects that their behaviors have on our lakes and the wildlife that live around it and use the lakes as their home.
Well, and the good thing about Lake Hollingsworth, it is the showpiece of, if you had to pick a lake that really said what Polk County is all about, Lake Hollingsworth is probably the poster child as far as lakes go, because it's a great place, it's a great venue.
It is. It's it is the most used recreational lake that we have in Lakeland, certainly, and so it's great for recreation. We have a lot of anglers back on the lake, great fishing. We have ski clubs, runners, bike clubs, you name it.
Now,
we all use our lakes in different ways, and this is a great opportunity to get everyone together, so to try to get to understand that, yeah, we all love our lakes. Let's try to do something to preserve them.
Have you ever taken a cardboard boat out on the lake? Have you been part of these teams?
I have not.
See,
No,
you and
I have not.
we're down like 4 flat tires. I'm thinking cardboard, I'm thinking tape, and the end result is water. I'm getting wet.
It is very interesting because they may have the most beautiful design, well-built boat, won't hold any water, but the launch is what kills them whenever they can't get into the boat just quite right.
Eric, as far as from your company goes, naturally, it's a natural fit for you guys to be involved in a situation like this. But why would you guys sponsor this?
AMEC purchased BCI Engineers and Scientists, who was involved in the community, and when AMEC bought us, they were actually just as involved in all of the communities that they've, companies that they purchased. They've been involved. My job actually is inspecting stormwater facilities, and I do MPDES inspections, which is making sure that the stormwater facilities aren't dumping the pollutant loads into the streams, rivers, and the lakes. So I think when this first came around, when Walt Rigner, one of the vice presidents, had asked me, will you get involved in it, it was like, sure. The AMEC is, with the exception of changing logos, everything stayed the same. Their involvement in the community and the commitment to the community.
One thing that you bring a unique aspect to the team is not only is your company sponsor of the event, you guys are also participating in the event, and although the girls give me their view of the event, you've got the view from the water. Now, how does the boat not go down made of cardboard and duct tape?
Actually, Johnna said it best, strategic use of the duct tape. And unless things have changed, I believe we get 5 or 6 sheets of corrugated board, AKA cardboard, 2 yardsticks, 2 utility knives, some felt markers, and 2 pencils. And
3 rolls of duct tape.
And 3 rolls of duct tape. And typically at the end of construction, well, typically at the end of our construction, because we normally have a lot of time left, we still have a good 1/4 to 1/2 inch of duct tape left on 1 roll.
And that would be good for duct taping the life preserver on you?
No, we, our boat has only sunk 1 time, and that was after it had already entered 2 other heats. And it was part of the Survivor Series, I believe is what they call it.
So it's like the last chance race?
Yeah. and I've actually helped construct the boat every single year. The design is up here, not on paper, only because I kind of make it up as I go.
Yeah.
I know the basics. One year, I think myself and another guy, we had a combined weight of almost 450 pounds in the boat.
Wow. So if you could give advice, no, we don't want you to give advice, but say if you were going to give advice to teams, and see, I expect you to swerve them way off. They don't want to use that much tape. Probably sides maybe only this big.
And very, very narrow.
Very narrow? Yeah.
Very narrow, yes.
Yeah. And then, of course, any other advice that you might want to give other teams that are interested in joining?
Actually, I thought it was really interesting how you would notice that Cindy had not been in the boat yet. So I think it would be really nice if Cindy got in the boat.
Well, I'm in charge of registration, which is extremely important, and,
well, registration only happens up until it starts. You got plenty of time.
Well, then I have to spread our message of environmental awareness that we really do need to. That is this is why we're having the event and bringing it together.
Now, have you guys ever thought of bringing some of the local elected officials out and inviting them into maybe a 20-yard sprint? I think that would be great.
I actually went in front of this Lakeland City Commission earlier this month for a proclamation for Lakes Appreciation, and I mentioned the cardboard boat race, and I said, how about a commission team? And they kind of laughed and don't know if they'll show up, but it's open to everybody. I mean, we have categories for a wide variety of
Let's
folks.
talk about the categories that you have available.
We have the family category There's elementary, middle aged, there's high school age, and then the community category, which hopefully we can capture a lot of people that way. And then corporations, and then we have a pre-built division, of course. So we try to hit as many different variety of people that we can who want to participate. And because of space, we do have to limit it, and so we get filled up quick. So it's obviously an interest to people.
Now, on the pre-built boats, I take it they fare just a little bit better?
Well,
or?
you would think so. You would think, because they do have an opportunity to create those beforehand. They bring their boat already completed, and then we have the crowd kind of vote which one they like best. So, you know, it goes by how fast they are and then which one has the best design.
What do you mean,
so
how fast they are?
Oh,
okay, what are they rowing with? How long are paddles? How big?
They're using regular oars.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are able to secure some oars. We have a group that donates those each year for us to use. So, you know, we have the oars, we have life jackets in case they're needed. But,
and it isn't like baseball. They can't cork the oars, right?
No,
That's where they hollow them out, make them a little bit
They're
lighter.
regular wood oars. Yes, they're regular wooden oars. We don't make the oars out of the cardboard, but they're
Cork the oars, Brian. Where did you get that? Obviously, baseball fan. Sorry.
right.
And of course, naturally, we'll have drug testing at the end, right?
We have some teams that are very fast. It's gotten to the point where we have, like, especially in our corporate category, we have to have 3 heats.
Yeah.
Due to the space, we can't launch all of them at one
let's
time.
talk a little bit about the course. What's the course look like?
Oh, the course is not easy. It's not just a out and back. I mean, it's you go out, you make a sharp left turn, you go about 75 yards, make another sharp left turn, and then make another turn and come through a checkered buoy system, which I guess the initial years we did it, we thought, this is going to be tough, no one's going to make it. And then we found that people were getting better and better at building their boats, more and more people entered. Like I said, the last several years, the corporate category, we had 3 heats. So we had to time them, so they have to, I mean, when they get out there, they have to row, they have to get going in order to beat the time. Because in the first heat, just because you come in first place doesn't mean you'll be the first place winner. It's dependent on time. So we have some that go out there and they make it around the course in under 2 minutes.
So what you're talking about, if we're to break it down in its NASCAR compatibility, we've got an Indianapolis track.
Right.
It's a square,
Exactly.
straightaway, square. More of a square, right?
Right, exactly, right.
Leave no NASCAR reference unsaid, right?
That's right.
So we got 3 races, 3 heat races. Then what happens?
Well, and it depends on the number of teams that are in the category. And then we determine the first, second, and third place winners in each of the categories. And then we have prizes and certificates and stuff for each of those winners.
Now, Eric said that there was a last chance or a last,
Yes,
what
we
is
call
that?
that the survivor race. If you think that your boat can go back in the water a second time and you want to chance it, and again, I think last year we had 3 heats in that one. So a lot of people think it'll go back in. Some of them sink immediately.
So once we go through the 3 heats and there's a first, second, and third, do they run again for like a final feature race, or is it just the fastest made it?
It's just the fastest in each category, and then if they think they can get in again for the ultimate survivor race-off.
So if you win in the first part, you've won
in
there.
your category.
But if you win in the last chance race, you just won that gig.
Right. Well, you can't enter the last one without entering into the original.
First one, yeah.
Right. You can't just hold your boat off and go in the last one.
I don't know. I just have this Jaws reference in my mind. I'm looking at the guy behind me going, I think we need a bigger boat.
No, it's fun. I mean, it's, on your mark, it's set, go, and then they take off. And it's a mad scramble. I mean, they're going, and some are tipping over, and some are running into each other. And when you get to that first turn, that's when we lose some of them, and it's interesting. But the number that make it all the way around is actually amazing.
Well, one thing that Cindy had talked to us about is the venue itself. You guys have been doing this for 10 years. Talk a little bit about how you've seen it grown. What's it take to put on an event like this?
A lot of collaboration. We have a lot of organizations that are helping out. The Lakes Education Action Drive is a nonprofit organization, so we're all about education, which is what the Lakes and Stormwater Division is doing also. So we work together to try to get the message out. And we receive a grant from the Southwest Florida Water Management District to add an educational component to this. So I think the first year we tried to just do a cardboard boat challenge, and then we said, you know what, we've got all these people out here, let's make it a festival type atmosphere. So we added exhibitors, have an environmental message that are able to educate people while they're out there. Do you fertilize your yards properly? What do you do in your own backyard? And do you realize that that can directly affect the water quality of a lake? And a lot of people don't realize that. And so that's a good way to educate the people while they're out there.
Sponsorship opportunities, and can you use volunteers?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We have set up takedown
How do they go
during
about
the event.
being a part of such?
They can call LEAD at 863-221-5323, or they can call Cindy at the City of Lakeland at 863-834-8429.
Do you call her a lot, or did you just know that?